Wow. I'm just going to take that in for a second. Today we are looking at what I believe is probably the best Marvel art book that ever existed. That's right. We are looking at Conan the Barbarian. Marvel art of Marvel art of Conan the Barbarian. Wish I knew how to speak. First off, we're going to start with this awesome cover, a Barry Windsor Smith jam, if you will. Very, very cool cover. Probably one of the most iconic Conan the Barbarian covers, excluding Frazetta stuff, obviously. But this is such a cool book. I'm happy I got it. I actually have a funny story about this book. I ordered this book a while ago and had some weird issues with it because it went out of print. And then I was like, damn. And if you know, in the previous, one of my previous videos, I did the art of Savage Sword Conan. And I was so angry and so pissed off that I never got the book. And then just randomly one day I found it. So it's not really that funny of a story, but yeah, I love Conan the Barbarian. I love Barry Windsor Smith, and I love John Buscema. And this is just like a huge book of all their stuff. I think there's some like Ernie Chan in here. I think there even is some McFarlane and some Jim Lee. So let's just pop this open and yeah, go through it because I believe that Conan the Barbarian is the book for people who really know who know their chops, who really know how to draw great. So, I mean, look at that splash page. Actually, let's just take the cover off right now. Let's kind of just look at I think that's a Buscema right there. That way the cover doesn't get in the way. Try not to destroy the cover while we're doing it. Alright. So we have this great page right here. I mean, what a world to be in. What a world to be set in. Roy Thomas, of course, the famous writer on Conan the Barbarian for the years and years and years it was being made. So let's just kind of go through it. Love this early Barry Windsor Smith trying to look like Jack Kirby drawing. As much as I am confused as to why maybe he was just such a huge Jack Kirby fan that he just drew like Jack Kirby. I don't know. Or they made him draw like Jack Kirby. Who really knows? Because, man, if you know anything about Barry Windsor Smith, his later stuff is insane. So we have this iconic first cover of Conan the Barbarian #1. And if you want a map, there's one there too if you need it. The great thing about this page is like every flip is just this great drawing. We got a John Buscema here, or Buscema, however you want to say it. Man, what an artist John Buscema was. What an amazing artist. That new guy who's on Conan, I forget his name, Robert something, draws exactly like John Buscema. So John Buscema is pretty much still alive, but through different artists now. And yeah, man, I just love how he has that like very Bridgman, like solid connection. I just love how everything connects and overlaps. It just looks so good. And then we go back to Barry Windsor Smith. Man, great stuff. I love that hatching, to show the shading. I do apologize. I'm a bit sick, so I'm going to sound very nasally. I do apologize in advance, but yeah. I love how much form is in that nose. Like that's such a Kirby thing where like the bones are so solid. It's, yeah, it's great. And then like the hatching around the solid parts of the skeleton. Very, very cool. I also love that they have like these I don't know, these are probably copies of the original, scans of the original. Sorry, I'm trying my hardest to not sound nasally. Great color too on these. I don't know if the original color of these are recolored or not, but love that cover too for the white. Isn't like killing everything. I hate this glossy paper, but and then we got like the other thing that's very cool is we have like original ideas and then what ended up being the actual cover, which I think is very cool. So you get to see that extra artwork, and it's like if he had a month to do this, it feels like he changed a lot. So this is much closer, much further away. It also shows you kind of like what the mindset was, like what was accepted and what wasn't. Very cool. Man, I love that color too. Drawing is so great. And I've already said this a ton of times. Like Barry Windsor Smith, I've never seen an artist grow so much, as much as Barry Windsor Smith did from Conan 1 to I think like Conan 25. I think he was on until he grew so much as an artist. And I love these solid colors in the background too. I think those are really cool. That's a very like early Marvel thing. So we have this is a Barry Windsor Smith number 14 or Conan number 14. So 14 issues later from number 1, he's starting to look more like Barry Windsor Smith, but still has that very Jack Kirby feel. Again, I don't know if they told him to draw like Jack Kirby or if he chose to draw like Jack Kirby. I'm not sure. And I love how much form, like that head is just a cube. Literally, you could see it. That's the top plane, that's the front plane, that's the side plane. That's literally just a cube with some added elements to it. So very solid form. Uh, oh, that's a Gil Kane, obviously. Yes, that makes sense because you could tell Gil Kane by his faces and his the way his muscles are. He has a very weird way of doing muscles. I didn't look at the face. I just looked at this dude's head. And then I looked down. I was like, oh no, that's not Barry Windsor Smith. But still, his stuff is very solid, just like Barry Windsor Smith's stuff is solid. But Gil Kane is more like some of his stuff, in my opinion, is more cubic stuff. Uh, very cool. You get all these different artists, which is nice. You know, that's another Gil Kane right there. Gil Kane has this very like. Sometimes it feels like spaghetti. Like it's very funny how he drew some muscles sometimes, but I don't know. It's very cool. Very very animated. Got some more Barry Windsor Smith. I also love how they have like the black and whites. Very cool. And I love these like big scenes that they show you, like these close up panels. I don't know why I mean, look at all that shattered glass. It's a very cool drawing. I just don't know why they pick some of these. So Marvel no longer owns Conan the Barbarian. It's owned by like Titan Comics or something. So yeah, yeah. Just such, and that's the other thing is I feel like his stuff is so fun. Like it's just fun to look at. So we're on issue 24 at this point, and Barry Windsor Smith looks like Barry Windsor Smith. I mean, just such solid form. Muscles look great. I mean, you draw 25 comics or 25 issues of a comic, or 24 at this point of the same comic. You're gonna get a lot better, and man, he improved a ton. I mean, if you compare that to try to find like that. I mean, that's a big gain in like what 2.5 years maybe. So he definitely was practicing. I don't know if he was self-conscious about his drawing or what, but man, this stuff looks great. If you have any information on Barry Windsor Smith and want to school me in Barry Windsor Smith, I am totally for it. And if you're like, hey dummy, that's not so and so, and I didn't see it, definitely do that too. And then we get to John Buscema, who takes over for Conan and does it for a really long time. John Buscema notoriously known for not liking doing superhero comics, so Conan Barbarian was right down his alley. I know this is a Neil Adams cover, I believe. So, Neil Adams drawing Conan is great too. We have a Neil Adams sketchbook that I went over, so you can look at that in my previous videos where he draws a lot of Conan the Barbarian. But yeah, Neil Adams, great artist. I mean, yeah. I love Ernie Chan too as an inker, but he does do some. I think he does do some penciled work for Conan. So great cover there. That's a Gil Kane. Okay, yeah. I also love how you have even Gil Kane grew a ton. I feel like I love how you have like the breakdown of the cover. Very cool, like paste ups maybe. Not sure, but really enjoy that. So much detail in that bat there. Very, very cool. God, some of the best artists have worked on Conan. And it's funny because Conan's not like a super popular character, but he's like a cult character. Kind of like Daredevil is, which is very weird because my two favorite characters in Marvel, well, my three favorite characters in Marvel are Conan, Daredevil, and Punisher. And I feel like they're just such cult characters, but to me, I'm like, they should be Spider Man. I don't know. To me, they should be Spider Man. Very, very cool stuff. Yeah. And I love these black and white pieces. I love this piece too. Very different take on Conan. More like teenager like, which is very cool. Sorry, trying to like control my sinuses. So I'm trying to like move away from the camera or the microphone. I mean, the amount of detail and work that goes into these pieces, it's unbelievable. And again, hats off to Ernie Chan for inking this stuff so well. I mean, you just see so many beautiful ink lines in the work. I also love the changes that you get with Buscema, kind of when it became Buscema. He made him look a little bit more barbaric, if you will. You know, I feel like Barry Windsor Smith's stuff was more pretty. He was more of a pretty guy, whereas Buscema made him look more rugged. Are you a big Buscema fan like I am? If you are, you should definitely pick this up because this is very, very cool. I mean, just that's the thing about books like this is like I never run out of things to talk about because they just look so great. They give me so much like ability to kind of just look at how cool things are. I love that foreshortening of that arm. That's so difficult when you have that forearm overlapping the bicep area. It's so difficult to get that exact kind of length, but I love that foreshortening. Oh man, look at that spread there. Whew. I love these solid colors too. Man, Marvel I feel like was in their heyday at this time. I love those muscles and just like you could see like the solidness of that rib cage. Oh man, and like I love those like hatching lines. So so cool. So so cool. I see. I like this better than the Frazetta stuff. I feel like because it's more animated than Frazetta stuff. I don't know, but yeah. I wonder if Frazetta like read any of this. Probably not. But man, he missed out. Looking at this stuff from Buscema, just wow. And that solid cube for that elbow. It looks difficult. It is difficult. Oh, even Jim Starlin. Wow. Very cool. That's a great. I love that. This is Barry Windsor Smith again, right? Yeah. Oh, it's right there. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, that's Barry Windsor Smith. Duh. Look at it. Man, it's just so cool looking. I love Conan the Barbarian. Such a cool character. Conan Barbarian. I can be honest with you. I don't think I've ever read an issue of Conan the Barbarian. Sorry, Roy Thomas. I'm not a big Roy Thomas fan. A lot of the reason is because his opinion, the things he said about Jack Kirby, I think, are a bit fucked up. Uh, I know it's gonna be controversial, but I'm pretty sure he was like, I could be wrong, but I don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty certain he was like, yeah, well, Jack can sit there and say that he created, Fantastic Four all himself, but Stan had a huge thing in it. I don't want to get into the whole like who created what thing, but anyways. So I never read an issue I don't think I've ever actually read an issue of Conan the Barbarian, but boy, have I looked at issues of Conan the Barbarian. And, yeah. So we have opposite, I'm assuming this, cover by Ernie Chan. So inked, penciled and inked cover by Ernie Chan. Very cool. Man, look at that. And I love pieces like this. This alone, just like these drawings or these pieces alone are enough to purchase this book. Very cool. Again, I love how Marvel just was like, we're gonna use this solid color in the background. I don't know if that was a thing that they started doing in the Kirby era or not, but just very cool. I think it like brings out the artwork. It gives it a very like, I don't know, like a very pop art feel. Oh man, look at that. So that's Howard Chaykin. Wow, Howard Chaykin. What a boss Howard Chaykin is. I don't think I've covered anything of his, and I probably should. But yeah, yeah, so many great artists on this character, and that's the thing is like I just don't get why he's not as big as he is, or I mean as big as he could be. Sorry, like he should be way bigger than he is. I don't know what it is, but yeah, great covers by Buscema. By the way, Buscema was just like hitting on all cylinders at this point. That's a great drawing there. The face is a little wonky, but it has so much personality. It's so cool. This light is kind of taking away. It's gonna get super dark. I'm trying to get the perfect lighting here, but I don't think it's gonna happen for me. So we're gonna try to get ourselves set up with lighting perfectly, but bear with me over these next few videos while I try to figure it out. Man, who is your favorite Conan the Barbarian artist? I don't know who my favorite is. It's probably John Buscema, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. There's so many artists that I'm like, oh, I didn't know they did it. I didn't know they did, Conan the Barbarian, but I just love this black and white stuff. This is just like priceless stuff. It really is. So we have another. Oh, so we have a pencils by John Buscema and inks by Neil Adams in 1980. I'm surprised Neil Adams wanted to ink or was willing to ink that stuff because I feel like he was just so uh, like well known at that point. But hey, man, if you can ink Buscema, shit, that's a good day, I tell you. I would imagine. So we have inks by Paul Smith, pencils and inks by Paul Smith. I love Paul Smith. Paul Smith is, or no, I'm sorry. Is it Paul Smith that I really enjoy? No, he's not the guy who did X Men, is he? maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I probably am thinking about somebody else. Inks by Michael Golden. Wow. Pencils and inks by Michael Golden. Very nice. So you start to get these guys who are after Buscema, and they're pretty great. They're pretty great too. That's from John Severin. I love that. That's a great, great drawing there. Or great piece, or panel, however you want to say it. Got some sharks. We got Conan the Barbarian fighting a shark. Hell yeah. Oh, you even got some Conan the King. Interesting. Very cool. Let me try to get that light out of the way so you can see it. Very cool. Maybe I'll try to do it without this light going. I don't know, maybe too dark though. Tell me what you like if you get it to this part of the video. If you like it without the light, not with the light, I don't know. But yeah. Conan the Barbarian goes to Earth of today. Very cool. I love this cover. It's a very iconic cover. Bill Sienkiewicz, of course. Great artist. Got some of that Arnold stuff going on. Very cool. And this book is so awesome. It's just like the gift. Like every page is a new gift. So if you get your hands on this, I would absolutely advise it. We got more Buscema. Oh man, look at that. That's such a great panel. I love Buscema's art. It's so good. Man, look at that. I kind of wish this wasn't there. I wish it was spread to the whole piece, but it is what it is. That's such a great drawing. I love that solid form there. Very cool. Very muscular. So we're getting into like the later period. So Andy Kubert. Yeah. Very cool stuff. So Conan the King again. Mark Teixeira. Very nice. Love me some text. That's a great piece. Wish it was a little bit bigger. God, this book is ginormous. Ginormous book. But what is this, McFarlane? No, Jim Lee. Sorry, Jim Lee. No, it is McFarlane. I'm sorry. That is Jim Lee. I was gonna say that looks like McFarlane. Very. McFarlane's one of those funny guys. You know, I don't want to critique Todd McFarlane because I think Todd McFarlane is a great artist. But the head looks a little squished there. Little squished, a little rushed. Will Spartasio, another great artist. Got those image guys coming in. Surprisingly, no Rob Liefeld. I wonder why. That's just a cool cover. I think it's a fun cover. It's funny because I feel like guys came in and they were not trying to draw. I think Conan the Adventurer looks great. But it was like you got guys come in and they were kind of just told, like, do your thing. And, yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's a great piece right there. But, oh man. So this is. I don't care who the ink is by, or who the script is by. So it's by Raphael Kyanan, I guess. Man, look at that fucking spread. Holy shit, dude. Can I? Oh god, I want that light out of there. man. Maybe a little too dark, but look at that beautiful spread. Wow. I'm just going to take that in for a second. Just like moment of silence. Wow. Wow, that's just so good. That's so good. There's just so oh my god, that's like beauty. So much beauty on one page. All right, let's bring this light back. Hopefully you dug that as much as I did. That's why you buy. I mean, that alone is worth like what, the $40 for this book. I think that's the artist who was on Conan the Adventurer, isn't he? I believe it is. I could be wrong though. Yeah, this is Conan the Adventurer, I think. So I think that was in Conan the Adventurer. Conan Godkiller. I don't know about that. But they cover it all. That's like Buscema on steroids. I love it. I love how like the world changed so much in such a short period of time. And then you go back to Buscema. You look at that and you go, that's modern and rad. And then you look at this, you're like, that's old and stupid. But they both look great. We need our anatomy to make less sense. True. That's a great cover. Who did that? I don't know. Page 215. Paulo Parente, I guess. Never heard of him. And then we finish off with a piece from the beginning. And then we have an afterword, which has some interesting stuff, I guess. Back of the shop is a box of colorful sign that read Conan 1 through 24, $250. Huh. Conan 1 through 24 for $250. That's totally worth it. Even back then. And then we finish on a. I guess that's Barry Windsor Smith. I guess. Doesn't really look like Barry Windsor Smith, but I guess it is. I don't know. But the light's right in the way. So yeah. Yeah, that was a great. That's a great book. But anyways. That's Marvel's best art book, in my opinion. I really do believe that. Best art book, I think, by Marvel. Pick it up if you can. And if you're a big, Conan the Barbarian fan and you haven't picked it up yet, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you definitely need to pick that up. And you could just look at this book for hours, and you probably are going to be like, okay, let me look at it again. Especially if you're an aspiring artist like myself. So, alright guys, thank you so much for watching. We got more videos coming, and I do apologize again for this congested sound in my nose, but hopefully it goes away in a few days, and yeah, thank you so much.